Hey guys, just a quick video on some of the updates from the Bulls in terms of injuries. We've been waiting for injury updates for quite a while now from Jake White and the team. And I understand, medical results are never quite black and white. And coaches are sort of relatively never really want to give them to you. We've heard coaches in the past talk about the Poppy Act and all these things, but there is a certain responsibility to fans to get these medical results out and to tell them what's happening with the players. Now, in the Bulls' case, it's been a bit of a strange one because I feel for them because on the one hand, you have Jake, and I'll play the clip now of Jake talking about exactly why he doesn't want to have the stuff released. He says that it helps other teams. But there is, as I say, there is a responsibility to fans and people following the game. And just generally, you want to know how the guys are doing. Now, as I say, medical results are never 100% black and white. Sometimes players take longer. Sometimes they don't recover quicker. Sometimes the rehab, they have setbacks.
I think you'd appreciate that. I don't really want to tell the whole world on when they're coming back, which game I'm expecting them to play, because it's not a selection meeting, And I think often what happens is you let the opposition know what your thinking is, who you can use, and all that sort of stuff. And so there's nothing sinister about it, or not trying to be difficult. We'll do a press release and give you as much information as we can on who's out and what our thoughts are. In terms of guys that are back, Marco van Staden's now back, as in from an injury, so he's eligible to play. Leave-wise, I think every guy has now had his leave. So, a guy like Willie was the last guy who couldn't play the last game because of the leave factor. But I think everyone now is available to be selected, barring the injuries which we'll talk about. Ruan, Elrigh, and Johan Goosen. Basically, those three.
So let's start with the biggest injury of them all, which is Elrigh, the Springbok flank. He's really been a rock in the Bulls' side. He's led them a lot of occasions. Really, their go-forward man with the carries, and extremely physical as well. So he's a big loss. Now, the way I understood it, we received a message on the night after the Spark game, after he went off with injury, that he was going to be operated on that night. We saw his post where he also put up that the operation had gone well, long road recovery ahead. Now, the way I understand it, and I'm no medical doctor, so if I do get some of this is what I've heard, and some of this is sort of putting together two and two and trying to figure out myself. So I might not be 100% on the ball. As I say, I'm not a medical expert, so I'm going to try and do as best as I can with the information available to know what's going on with Elrigh. Now, from what we can ascertain, he went for an operation that night. He's posted Instagram post of his injury, of him lying in the hospital with his leg in a brace. It certainly looked like an ACL injury from where we were standing, and we've seen quite a few of them over the years. You hope it's not, because that's automatically at least 6 to 9 months for players. Sometimes less. Sometimes in the cases of Pieter-Steph du Toit and Siya Kolisi, there's other ways of dealing with them. But it's very touch and go. Most players go through 6 to 9 months, and depending on how many setbacks they have in the rehab process and how their limbs recover. So, first of all, my guess would be that it would be an ACL. But from it's a bit more complicated than that, it seems. For one, it seems he's had the operation. Now they're waiting for the swelling to come down, and then he's going to have another operation. So, not quite sure why, and it wasn't quite explained, but obviously they're waiting to find out, and they won't know for a little while. That being said, I think Bulls fans must brace for a long time without Elrigh. If that means 6 months, we're in January, that means he'll miss the tests in June, July. The rest of the season for the Bulls, that looks like almost the reality at the moment. I don't think anybody would expect him to be back before the end of the season. And if I was him, my focus would now be on trying to make the Springbok team at some point in the international season, concentrate on that. and get yourself ready for that. I suppose that would be the big thing for him. So, yeah, that's Elrigh. That's the biggest one. Looks like his season is over, but we'll only know for certain when they let us know. But I'll keep my eye on that, and I'll try and find out as soon as they let us know as well. Then, I suppose in order of how serious the injuries are, Rowan Nokia, I saw him this morning at training. He had his leg in a brace. He was walking rather gingerly. Didn't look that well. He was in good spirits. Came to say hello and everything, but he just had his leg in a brace, so he doesn't look good. It seems his knee injury will be 8 to 10 weeks. That'll put him in line for a return around the weekend of the EPCR Challenge Cup, early April. Bulls of course have to go play in Brive, I think it is. No, sorry, Bayonne. And that's obviously going to be his target to be back for that one. But he is definitely out for the next couple of weeks, and he won't take any part in all the derbies that the Bulls have to play now as well. Johan Goosen, who's the other one, also 8 to 10 weeks, although he was walking without a brace. It looked like he went in for, from what I understand, a knee op to clean out the cartilage. Again, I'm speaking under correction here. And he's a week or two ahead of Roanoke here. But I think they're targeting both of them to come back for that EPCR Challenge game. They have Bayonne, and that's a tough game. And if they win that, they're going to have to stay there. They play other. It's a bit of a tough one because they either got Edinburgh next or the Lions. Whoever wins that game. So you can just imagine if it's the Lions, they have to fly back. Both teams have to fly back and play in Joburg the next week. And then the Bulls have to go back because they got games against Munster and Glasgow in the URC, which are tough games for them as well. So that's a tough one for the Bulls, yeah. But if they have those two players back, that'll definitely give them a boost around that time. Only other injury news, quite interesting. Looks like, from what we can ascertain, Marco van Staden, the Springbok flanker, will be back as well, the World Cup winner. He's back from injury. He looked in good spirits, was running fine today when I saw him at practice. Very, very friendly, came over to say hello. Really looking good. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's included in the loose trio for the Stormers in some respect. And Ruan for Mark the Lock is also back, and he was also in training. Looked very sharp as well, given that he's come back from an injury. The other news is Mpilo Gumede is back from injury as well. He had, of course, the ban, and then he was injured at the same time. I think he took the time to sort out some niggles. He's also back, so the Bulls have got some interesting choices to make about at loose trio. But I'll address those in another video coming up. But this is all about the injuries. Yeah, so not greatest news, but then as Jake put it, every team has got injuries at the moment. So, I'll leave you with this quote from Jake, where he talks about those injuries, and looking forward to Saturday's game. Sounds like it's going to be close to sellout at Cape Town Stadium. If you're there, great, send us some videos. It'd be great to see some of the action behind the scenes. And let me know what you think of the injuries. Who should replace those guys? And how big a blow is it for the Bulls? Anyway, that's the update. Anyway, leave a message, and I'll read all the comments. Thank you for watching, and we'll chat again soon. Cheers.